Hello, movie lovers. Bob for Bob's movie review here, and today I'm bringing you my December 2019 Blu-ray and DVD collection update. Now, right off the bat, I want to say I'm sorry if any of these were in the November update. Some of the Black Friday purchases, I'm not real sure if they were in there or not, so maybe they'll be in here. So not a lot sent to me for a review this month, which is pretty good, pretty busy month. I didn't have to watch a ton of stuff. So Lionsgate by far did win the month. So let's get into it, guys. First up, they sent over Semper Fi on Blu-ray. This was about this group of men in this kind of small town, and they join the Marine Reserves. Yeah, the Marine Reserves. And the one guy's brother gets into some trouble, and they end up having to go get deployed without him, and they come back and he's in prison, and they decide to break him out of prison. So it's kind of just a lot going on. Definitely well acted, a fun movie. You know, it kind of had a lot of different movie elements to it, and it was kind of like an action and a drama and a heist, and it just had a lot going on. I definitely enjoyed that one. Next up, they sent over The Cotton Club Encore for review, a movie I had never heard of. This one was from 1984, and it was about this club in New York, and that had a lot to do with racism, and it was an interesting movie, a little long for my liking, a little too much song and dance for my liking. The movie was okay. Next up, they sent over Lucky Day, and this one was this really, really interesting movie where Crispin Glover is kind of like this assassin or something, and he comes to kill this guy basically, and he ends up just like killing a bunch of people along the way, and there's this like stolen bonds or something. It was a definitely interesting movie. It's kind of a dark comedy and some action and stuff in this one. Definitely a cool movie for sure. Next up, they sent over Low Tide, and this one was very interesting. Not quite what I was expecting, but it's about these young teenagers in this kind of resort town or vacation town or whatever you want to call it on a beach, and they kind of just for fun they'll like break into these houses because they know people aren't there because it's not vacation time or whatever, and they'll just steal small stuff from them. And then these two brothers end up finding like all these gold coins or some kind of coins, and that kind of ends up being a lot of drama. And definitely a really interesting movie, guys. Check this one out for sure. Sadly, it only got a DVD release. Next up, they sent over The Kill Team. Now, this was based on a true story about the soldiers in Iraq, and the one, he's kind of this young naive guy, and he gets in the army, and he's trying to kind of move up through the ranks or whatever, and his new commander is kind of a shady guy, and he's I don't want to tell you guys too much. I know I said a lot about it in the review, but I thought this was a really good movie. Check that one out. Next up, they sent over The Gallows Act 2. I kind of want to go back and watch The Gallows 1, whatever you want to call it, just The Gallows, and because I kind of forgot a lot about it. But in this movie, this girl, she's trying to become like YouTube famous, and she's not really having any luck, and she hears about this thing called the Charlie Challenge, and she does that, and she ends up getting like, I can't remember if it's like 1 million views or something like that, and she starts getting all these subscribers, so she keeps doing it, but it's kind of like welcoming in this entity or whatever, and had a weird ending to it. The characters, to me, I didn't love them, but definitely I did enjoy this one. It definitely had some good jump scares. Check that one out for sure. Next up, they sent over Judy. This movie was about Judy Garland in the waning years of her life and her career, and she goes to London, and she kind of has like a daily show, or I don't know if it was daily, but she's just kind of doing a sing and dance thing, and that's kind of a majority what the movie's about. It was interesting, but so final thing from Lionsgate, they sent over The Curse of Oak Island. I'm gonna be working on finishing this whole thing. I did say in my review that I haven't watched all of it, as it is 65 hours, almost 66 hours long. It's the first 6 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the show is still running. Very interesting show about these guys who are out on this island searching for this treasure, and they never really have much luck. But definitely a show to check out if you guys are into those kind of reality kind of shows. I like. Warner Brothers sent over The Goldfinch. Now, this one was a super interesting movie about this kid who was in this museum, and something happens and there's an explosion and his mom ends up dying, and he kind of goes to live with this family, and they're like really nice and they treat him really good. But then his dad comes back into the picture, and his dad's not a very good person. And it's just kind of about his life and the things that happened to him. And, it's a really interesting story. A little long, I think. It definitely had some slow parts. But I think it's a good movie. The only complaint I really have is Ansel Elgort. He's not in it a ton because it's mostly him as a child. He plays the adult version. But, I really enjoyed that one. Last up for Warner Brothers, they sent over It Chapter 2. Now, obviously, you guys probably know what this is. It's the conclusion of the It story, where as adults, they all come back to Derry once again to defeat It. I love this movie, guys. It was so awesome. Visually, really good. Great story. Cool artwork here. You guys should have checked that out already. If you haven't, be sure to do so. Next up from Paramount was Killer Man. And to be honest, I'm really forgetting what this was even about. Oh yeah, okay. So Liam Hemsworth is like a courier or something for drug dealers, or he does something with the money laundering. I can't remember exactly what it was. And his partner, they get like there's suspicion on him, so they cancel the job, but they have all the money still. So his partner wants to take the money and buy drugs and sell it so they can give the money back, but then they'll make a huge profit. He doesn't want to, but he kind of doesn't really have a lot of choice. And of course, everything goes bad. It's definitely an interesting movie, a lot of action. Check that one out. Last one from Paramount was Buttons, A Christmas Story. And yes, Dick Van Dyke is still alive and acting. There's a little bit of a cheesy kind of story and movie about this girl who's an orphan, and this woman comes and she's telling her this story about this other orphan, and it's kind of like the story in a story. It gets a little confusing in there, but it was an okay movie, a family movie. It wasn't too great, but it was okay. RLJE Films sent over Trick. Now, I see a lot of people just really hyping this up, and it was an okay movie. There were definitely things I enjoyed about it. It's definitely a low budget film, which has Omar Epps in it. Is that what he's in now? He's in low budget horror films. But it's about this group of teenagers. They're at a party, and one of them goes crazy and starts killing everyone, and then they basically shoot him all these times, and basically he should be dead, but they can't find the body. And then the next Halloween there's more killings, the next Halloween there's more killings, and I don't remember, it's 3 or 4 Halloweens, and Omar Epps is a cop or ex-cop. I can't think if he's still a cop at this point, but he becomes obsessed that it's the same guy, and then he's supernatural, and he's trying to kill him. It was definitely a fun movie. I definitely enjoyed it. There were some good, unique kills in this, but it was, kind of bad effects, and, but I liked it overall. And then last thing from RLG Films, they sent over Adopt a Highway. Now, Ethan Hawke, I've said this before, but just over the last couple of years, he's really become one of my favorite actors. I think he's so good in everything I see him in. And in this one, he plays a man who has just gotten out of prison for 21 years, I believe it was. And he's just trying to adapt back into life, and he's got a job at this little fast food restaurant or something, and he finds a baby in the dumpster, and he doesn't really know what to do, and he takes the baby home, and he's taking care of it, and he doesn't really know how to take care of it, and he just doesn't know what to do. This is a great movie, guys. I love the story. I love the characters. There's a little bit of a slow part in the middle where he goes on this long bus ride back to his hometown, and I didn't care for that part, but great movie for sure. This does say Dove approved, but then it says 18 plus, so I didn't understand what that meant, because I thought the Dove approved was family friendly, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And Sony Pictures, yes, Sony Pictures sent me over a title they rarely do, so it's cool to get one. Overcomer. Now, this is from a group of filmmakers, the Kendrick brothers, and I think they're kind of known for making these kind of religious movies. And in this one, this young teenage girl, she wants to be in the track and field or whatever, cross country, I think is what it was. And she has asthma, and she's like, she was adopted or whatever. And the coach kind of gets in her life and tries to improve her life and help her find her family and all this kind of stuff. And it was definitely a really good story, pretty decent acting, and a good, heartwarming, family-friendly kind of thing. It is very, very preachy for sure, but I think when you see these, you kind of are expecting that one. I say check it out, unless you guys are like super offended by, just movies with strong Christian themes and stuff like that. I think they get preachy, but it's still a good movie about good human values and morals. I actually got a movie sent over from Epic Pictures. They never will send me movies. They'll always let me preview their movies before they release to review them, but they never actually send me a copy. I got this one. I don't know why, but it is called The Fair. And actually, this is a pretty interesting movie. When I kind of got to the ending, I was just like, does this movie even make sense? It's one of those ones where there's like these twists and turns, and you got to rewatch it, I think. I haven't yet. When do I ever have time? But definitely one I'd like to rewatch. This is kind of a mystery romance thing about this guy who's a taxi driver, and this woman, he's picking her up in the middle of nowhere, and then she disappears, and then time kind of rewinds, and he's like reliving the same 20 minutes or whatever over and over and over. And so she kind of knows more than she lets on to, but definitely an interesting movie. I definitely enjoyed this one. And like I say, I think you got to watch this one probably twice, but maybe on the second time you realize it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I never get back to rewatching them, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting movie for sure. Mill Creek Entertainment sent over Ultra 7. And this is the Steelbook version. I mean, these Steelbook versions and even the standard Blu-ray versions they're putting out on all the Ultraman are very interesting. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't remember which one this is. I've been watching a lot of these, but it is available now. I just can't remember because it's like I watched Ultra Q, Ultraman, Ultra 7, Ultraman Geed, Ultraman Orb. They're just kind of all running together now. Wellgo USA sent over Savage, and this was in Mandarin. Unfortunately, I had to watch it just with subtitles, and it was about these guys who are kind of like there's a stolen gold, and they're trying to get it off the mountain, and there's a cop who's trying to stop them. And lots of people are getting killed, and it was just kind of an action, kind of like, not disaster, but wilderness survival during this crazy snowstorm. Definitely an interesting movie. If you guys don't mind reading subtitles, check that one out. Santa Fake was sent over to me for review, and I don't think this version has a distributor. I believe Gravitas Ventures was distributing it, but this is about this guy who he's an orphan. It's another Christmas orphan movie, and he gets a job at this bar, and he kind of really looks up to the guy who owns the place and kind of looks at him like a father. And then he asks him to do this really shady deal for him, but he doesn't think the guy's like gonna do anything bad or whatever, so he decides to go ahead and do it. And then he kind of like, there's people following him and stuff, so he ends up like running away and going to this town, and then he becomes Santa Claus so that he can hide because these guys are looking for him. It was a fun movie. It was a family-friendly movie for the most part, I think. But there's these weird song parts where I don't know if this guy's a singer or what the deal is. It just seemed kind of weird. But overall, I did enjoy it. The last thing sent to me for review from Cinedime was DDay, Battle of Omaha Beach. Now, I said this in my review, but this is not the kind of thing to really tackle, for a low budget, low production value kind of thing. A thing that's got so much history and is so well covered in movies. Everybody knows about D-Day, and there's they take a lot of liberties in this one, and just they don't even have enough people to even try to fake what they're doing. It's just, there were thousands and thousands of men involved in this battle, and they had like 20 people in this movie, and it just really takes away from it. The acting, I think is subpar for the most part. And so, yeah, I don't know about that one, guys. So now for my purchases, like I said, there could be some that I went over last month, but you guys will just have to deal with it, I guess. I picked up Widows. Like I said, this is a Black Friday thing. I did like this one. I got to check it out a while ago. And it's about these, was it 3 or 4 women? Their husbands are like bank robbers, and they get killed, and then they got to start robbing banks to make back the money. Definitely an interesting one to check out. I picked up The Hustle, and I'm not expecting a lot out of that one. Miss Bala. I don't know. People didn't really enjoy this one. It looked interesting, so I picked it up. A Simple Favor. I did enjoy this one when I saw it in theaters. It had kind of a weird ending to it, but it's based on a true story, so I think they were just kind of trying to keep it faithful to the story. 5 Feet Apart. I've not seen that one. Green Book. I haven't seen that one. X-Men Dark Phoenix. I did see this one, and it was okay. It just feels like they're making the same movie over and over. You got the humans mad at the X-Men, and they have to fight the X-Men. I just want to see the X-Men fight each other more and just have less battles against the humans. It was an okay movie with a really crazy out there ending. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but I don't think it's great either. I got Brightburn. It was so bright. This is a cool movie. Not quite what I was expecting. A little drawn out. I think I hope they make a sequel. Like I've said so many times, like this is a good origins movie, but if it's like a standalone, then yeah, they just drew it out way too long. They do definitely hint at a sequel at the end. This is kind of like the opposite of Superman. It's like a bad Superman. This kid's an alien who lands on Earth, and he ends up killing a bunch of people. Check that one out for sure. Picked up The Walking Dead, the complete 9th season. I have not watched any of this yet, so I'll check that out. Men in Black International. Haven't seen that one. Heard a lot of people actually really enjoyed it, so looking forward to that. Yesterday, I haven't seen this one. I recorded an unboxing of this. I don't think I've posted it yet, but just kind of reading about it. Sounds like an interesting movie. Nancy Drew. Picked up Ma. I did see this one in theaters. Nowhere near what I was expecting. Nowhere near as good as I was expecting. It was interesting, but I think they kind of gave all the good stuff away in the trailer. The Prodigy. I did check this one out before, and it was about this kid who's like super smart, but he might be evil. And it's definitely, I really like this one. It had a cool kind of twist on a kind of standard kind of movie, but check that one out, guys. I picked up Rampage, the standard 4K. I like the artwork. It was only like $8 or something, and it was definitely a Dwayne Johnson movie I really enjoyed. I wanted to have just the standard artwork, so picked that one up. Doom Patrol Season 1. I haven't seen it. Looking forward to checking it out, though. I don't know. I'm assuming this is kind of like more adult-oriented, kind of like Teen Titans was, where the language is kind of an issue. But I do hope to check that out soon. Picked up Supergirl Season 4. Haven't watched it yet. So I think I just need DC's Legends of Tomorrow Season 4. And then I'll have this year's all caught up. Picked up The Stand on Blu-ray. I've always loved this movie, or miniseries, whatever you want to call it. Definitely looking forward to checking out the Blu-ray. I haven't seen it in a few years. I picked up Freaks and Geeks, the complete series. I have seen this before, but looking forward to checking it out again. I picked up the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 4K Steelbook. I have not watched this one yet. Picked up the Orville Season 2 on DVD. I know I said I wasn't going to pick this one up, right away, and I didn't. But my wife had this special deal to get it, so I got it kind of at a good deal, so I decided to pick it up. Same goes with I got Family Guy Season 17. I think I got these for like $15 each, so I decided to go ahead and get them. Last thing, guys, I got It Chapter 2 on 4K Steelbook. Again, I love the movie. This Steelbook has an amazing artwork. It's so great. The only thing I'm sad is I didn't get The Simpsons It's just I thought it was too expensive. I'm hoping to get it soon, but that is it for me, guys. What did you guys pick up? What did you guys think of any of these movies? I'd love to hear down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the suggested videos, and for more movie news, check out my website, bobsmoviereview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.